This talk is an overview of childhood psychological development. Throughout history, several theorists have studied and proposed timelines of different aspects of psychological development. For example, social development, cognitive development, and moral development. In this talk, I'll review psychological development during childhood, that is, from birth to 18 years old, by placing these different theories on a common timeline to make it easier to visualize the relationships between different aspects of development. First is Jean Piaget's theories of cognitive development. The first stage of this theory, the sensory-motor stage, from birth to 2 years, involves learning to interact with the environment through physical sensations and motor movements. The pre-operational stage involves the use of symbols to represent the world. The concrete operational stage involves the use of logical reasoning. Finally, the formal operational stage involves the use of abstract reasoning. Next is Erik Erikson's theories of psychosocial development. The first stage from birth to 18 months involves developing trust that basic needs will be met. The second stage involves developing autonomy in many tasks. Subsequent stages involve developing initiative on activities, industry and self-confidence, and a sense of identity. Next is Sigmund Freud's theories of psychosexual development. The oral stage from birth to 2 years involves pleasure-seeking focused on the mouth. For example, sucking, biting, and chewing. The anal stage involves a focus on the anus, with pleasure derived from controlling and releasing bowel movements. The phallic stage involves an increased awareness in one's body, in particular the genitals, and an awareness of anatomical differences between the sexes. The latency stage occurs from 6 years to whenever puberty starts, which is anywhere from 8 to 14 years, but on average at 11 years. This stage involves a latent libido. That is, sexual interests and desires are not present. Finally, the genital stage from puberty onward involves reemergence of libido and increased expression of sexual interests and desires. Next is Lawrence Kohlberg's theories of moral development. The pre-conventional stage from birth to 9 years involves making decisions based on avoiding punishment and gaining rewards. The conventional stage from 9 years to adulthood involves moral reasoning based on social expectations and laws. The next aspects of psychological development are concentrated in the first 3 years of life, so let's take a closer look at that timeline. Next is John Bowlby and others' theories of attachment development. In the first 1 to 2 months of life, during the pre-attachment stage, the infant does not discriminate between caregivers. In the indiscriminate stage, the infant prefers familiar caregivers, but will still accept care from anyone. In the discriminate stage, the child develops a specific attachment to the primary caregivers, usually the parents or guardians. In the final stage of reciprocity, the child develops reciprocity in relationships and can form multiple attachments. The last theory I'm going to go over is Margaret Mahler's theories of separation individuation. In the first month of life, known as the autistic stage, the infant is focused on himself and uninterested in external stimuli. Furthermore, the infant views his mother as an intrinsic part of himself. In the symbiotic stage, the infant acknowledges his mother as the main source of having needs met, but still does not view the mother as a unique individual. In the differentiation stage, the infant begins to separate from mother in minor ways, such as crawling, while still maintaining mother as a reference point. In the practicing stage, the child begins to explore more freely, such as by walking, but still maintains proximity to mother. In the rapprochement stage, the child begins to fear abandonment alongside his desire for independence, and continues to seek proximity to mother. In the final stage of object constancy, the child develops an internal mental model of mother, allowing him to feel safe even when physically separated. This allows the child to more fully develop individuality and independence. That's the end of this talk. Although there is much more to learn in each of these areas of development, I hope this overview puts these disparate ideas into context. Thank you.